Here at the AOPA Air Safety Institute, we typically analyze accidents to better understand safety issues and trends in general aviation. But we started looking at smaller incidents and mishaps to see what trends exist there. When investigating accident trends, NTSB reports are a valuable resource, but they only tell us about the accidents that meet the reporting criteria. For mishaps and smaller damages to airplanes, we really only have the ASRS, a self-reporting database that some pilots don't even know about, much less use. But we found another way to see what's really going on at GA airports across the country, and that's by reading through insurance claims. To be clear, this is not a scientific study. These are observations that we've made that we think are valuable enough to share. Here's what we saw. The most expensive accidents, as measured by payouts per accident, not surprisingly, are the accidents that typically require payouts for hull coverage, liability, and loss of life. Accidents like flight into terrain, crashes on approach, in-flight breakup, and weather-related crashes. Those are the most expensive per accident. But these types of accidents aren't the costliest to insurance companies because, thankfully, they're infrequent. The costliest accidents for insurance companies are actually less expensive per event, but the frequency of them creates more drag on the profit and loss statement, contributing in part to higher rates. So what are they? Fourth in overall cost to insurers are prop strikes. Since a prop strike almost always generates a complete engine teardown and rebuild, these top $30,000 per occurrence. But we are creative in finding items to strike with our propellers. Tow bars, hangars, and even cars. Admittedly, we had some fun reading these claims. Third, hard landings. Fairly self-explanatory as to why. Our second most costly item to insurers is loss of directional control on the ground, including ground loops. Although tail draggers are a strong contributor to insurance payouts in this category, the issue is not exclusive to tail draggers. Pilots lose control on the ground in a nose wheel airplane surprisingly often. Finally, our most costly problem in GA when it comes to insurance claims are gear-up landings and gear collapses. Although their cost per incident is lower than the more catastrophic accidents, gear-ups are a hidden issue in GA statistics. These almost never meet NTSB reporting criteria, so the only way to get a true feel for the numbers is to review insurance claims. So what have we learned? Well, it's not only fatal accidents that are contributing to rate hikes, it's also hull coverage, much of which can be reduced by more focus in the cockpit in 3 ways. Commit to establishing and reinforcing your personal procedures to make sure the gear is down, most importantly during times of
you'll be
distraction.
number 2 following Bonanza traffic on about a 3-mile final. Report that traffic in sight.
We're having a problem in general aviation with gear-up landings. They happen too frequently, and they're costly when they happen. Here's a tip I learned flying single-seat fighters in the Air Force. Confirm your landing gears down on 3 separate occasions. The first occasion is at the perch. The perch is, on downwind, abeam your touchdown point. Like a bird standing on a perch, your landing gears should be down at the perch. The second occasion is at the 500-foot point. No matter where you are, at 500 feet, check your gear down. In a typical VFR pattern, that's about halfway through base turn. On a straight end, it's about 1.5 miles final. The third and final occasion is when you check your runways clear for landing. Runways clear, recheck the gear. Try those 3 tips and see if they work for you, and let's see if we can make a dent in the gear-up landings in general aviation.
Pledge not to perform cockpit tasks while taxiing. Perform needed checks and then taxi. Land on speed and on centerline. Excessive speed is often the catalyst for ground loops and loss of control on the runway, and we often get away with being a few knots fast or being slightly off centerline. But if we normalize these deviances, it's likely that they'll bite us one day.